Hi, today we're going to take a look at 5 tactics which will boost your confidence instantly. Confidence isn't a trait you are born with. However, it can be developed over time. There are several ways to build up self-confidence, such as becoming competent and demonstrating that competence to yourself and others. Building your self-esteem will also help. But what about those situations where you need to display confidence even though you're feeling unsure of yourself? Well, in this case, try these 5 techniques and you will instantly boost your self-confidence. Number 1. Reverse negative assumptions. We often have assumptions about ourselves. We have negative assumptions such as I can't do it, I can't speak in public, I can't present in front of that group of people, I can't close a sale, I can't get higher grades, I can't find a nice romantic partner, and so on. In this technique, you take the negative statement and reverse it, and then make an auto-suggestion out of it, whereby instead of saying, for example, I can't have the life I want, say I can have the life I want. This technique sounds simple, perhaps even silly. However, it's effective. Just give it a try. You see, the thing with this technique is that the negative assumptions are openly displaying what it is that we feel insecure about ourselves, and by reversing the statement and feeding it back to ourselves, it reinforces the opposite thought and our self-confidence increases. 2. Drop the disempowering language. Phrases like I think, I feel, in my opinion, I'm not sure, I have to think about it, and so on are disempowering words and phrases. By speaking like this, the statements you make come across as subjective, simply your ideas and not the real thing. If you want to sound more sure of yourself, then take away the subjective and self-reflective phrases. Keep your mind more direct and people will feel that you are better informed and more authoritative. 3. Memory boost. We have all had times in our life when we genuinely felt confident. In this technique, before taking an action that you presently lack confidence in, take a minute to cast your mind back to an event in your life where you actually did feel confident. It does not matter that both events are unrelated. Maybe you remember playing basketball in your high school and you were always confident, but this time you have to make a speech perhaps in public where you're not confident. It doesn't matter that they're unrelated. So we're going to cast your mind back to the memory and you're going to try and get into the modalities, which are visual, kinesthetic, auditory, sound, taste, and also audio-digital, which is internal dialogue. Whatever you have to do to just make a concerted effort to get back to seeing how was your body language, how did you feel, how were you standing, how were you expressing yourself, how were you feeling on every level. Now what you're going to do is you're going to graph those previous modalities, those previous sensory settings and mindsets onto your present experience. How are you going to do this? Basically, let's say you're waiting to speak in public. You sit there and you visualize yourself being successful and doing a good job of the speech. Then you cast your mind back to that earlier memory. You remember the modalities and how you felt, and you simply see yourself doing the speech but feeling the way you previously felt, standing the way you previously stood, having the same overall sense and feeling that you had at that time. You're basically getting into the groove, and you're engrafting, or just like you might graft one stem of a plant to another stem, you're grafting that previous experience, that previous setup of your body and your mind and your spirit onto the new experience. Try it and see. It's quite amazing how effective it can be. 4. Power posing. If you look at a person who lacks confidence, it shows. Their body language sucks, their shoulders are drooped, if they are speaking in public they have a lump in their throat, and they act very submissively when they do speak. There is a saying, fake it till you make it. And while I'm not a fan of this saying, it has to be said that self-confidence, even fake self-confidence, creates an aura of confidence and competence. You can be a very competent person, but if you come across as defeated, nobody will believe in you. This is where power posing has a place. In general, I'm against being fake, but holding your head up high, pulling your shoulders back, and projecting confidence is a surefire way to be confident. Human beings are primates, and although we are not directly descended from apes, we do share much in the same way of social order and the need for recognition within the group, which other primates also have. Social status in humans did not start with social media. Primates need social status, and body language demonstrates far more strongly than any competency how well placed you are within the social hierarchy. Acting as if you are the highest ranking person in a social interaction reinforces your authority in those whom you are interacting with. This does not mean that you act like a big head or lack humility. Rather, take a look at some high status individuals whom you know and look at how they act. The good ones demonstrate humility and are very well mannered, while at the same time there's something regal about them. They know that they are equal to or possibly better than anyone else in the room. Sounds egotistical, I know, but it's not wrong so long as you don't become an egomaniac and start bossing others around. Being the king or queen of an event or social interaction will automatically boost your self-esteem greatly. 5. Be real. After outlining all sorts of ways of not being ourselves, it sounds a little crazy to talk about being real, but it's actually the most important factor of all. To improve self-confidence, it is necessary to use some psychological tricks to make ourselves get in touch with some higher aspects of ourselves and then project them outward. These are simple manipulations necessary to put us into the self-confidence zone. But all of this is for naught if we lose our authenticity in the process. There are a great many people who are trying to be something other than themselves, and they end up becoming cheesy. They come across like a bad news anchor, two-dimensional and generic. The only way to demonstrate a high level of self-confidence ultimately means that a high level of our real selves should be there in the mix also. The best way to be real is to attempt to be honest with yourself and with others, and to interact socially as you do with those who are your closest associates. Try and demonstrate congruency between who you are on the inside and who you want to be on the outside. It might take time to develop this integrity, whereby you can truly be yourself while demonstrating self-confidence. But even if it takes time to get there, it is worth the wait to start expressing yourself both confidently and realistically, rather than merely being a carbon copy, as there are way too many carbon copies out there in society as it is. There you have it, 5 simple yet powerful psychological techniques for upping your confidence levels immediately. The key to self-confidence is to start today in whatever way possible to boost your self-confidence in every situation. Try these tactics and instantly you will be more self-confident. Regularly practice them, and over time you'll become the most self-confident person in any social interaction. I hope you like this video. If you do, please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.